Hello everyone! Welcome back to another video. I was recently playing around in some Minecraft vanilla worlds and I discovered this plains and extreme hills biome. I decided that I would like to do a simple transformation on it and turn it into what I would like to see when I stumble upon these biomes. So let's begin by transforming the basic terrain. I'm going to start by turning it all into stone because I like to use voxel sniper brushes, go brush, and some world edit brushes to adjust the terrain. Just making it all a little bit smoother, I'm also deepening the river a little bit, smoothing that out, and adding some mountains in the background. In my opinion, extreme hills biomes have always just been a little bit underwhelming. I would like them to be more mountainous, so I added this effect to be a nice background to our farm. Then I added in my colors, a sandy bottom for the river, some deep gray colors for the mountains, and of course some grass. Now that our base layer of terrain is laid down, it's time to get to farming. But this is gonna take a while if we do it like this. Don't worry, I have a much more efficient way. Let's get started by bringing out some Go paint brushes. I'm going to mark out where I want all of my paths to be, a couple simple bridges, and where my structures are going to go. And then I'm going to start in with my brushes and actually brush in some of this tilled terrain. This makes it a lot easier for me to plant all of my seeds because I can also do this with brushes when I use the correct ID. I'll put all the IDs I used in the description down below, but you can also just Google them. That's what I did. Now I'm going to start with a windmill. This feels like one of the most important structures of the farm, so I wanted it to really stand out. I decided for my palette I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I went with a sandstone, brick, and spruce palette, with of course that normal cobble foundation. Very basic windmill shape, just some cylinder commands to build up the main structure, and then a simple curved windmill on it. Off to the side I wanted to do a little bit of a storage shed, so I added that in and played around with the roof texturing I wanted to do. I ended up doing brick on the inside and I love the way that this turned out. With the details, it really makes it come to life. Now it's time to start in on one of my bridges, going with a simple cobble details and some basic wooden flooring. The theme throughout this entire build is going to be keeping it simple. After doing a really complex build, like I did a week ago, I really just wanted to sit back and relax and let my imagination go wild on a smaller scale, so that's what I went for. A simple little tree, some bushes and shrubs, and then we're moving on to the barn. For the barn, I'm keeping this theme very consistent, doing the sandstone walls, the brick and spruce roofs, and lots of detailing. I ended up texturing these buildings out a little bit, using some different sandstone and some birchwood thrown in there. I think this makes them look a little bit more worn, and I really like the effect it gives. Off to the side of the barn, I also added chicken coop with a little wire fenced area around the side to keep them safe from those pesky foxes. Now, all along our path, to keep the animals and also the people out of our farm, and just to add a little bit of a pretty border, I had some bushes along one side of our wheat field. I love the effect that this gives and it looks really natural. Along the other wheat farm, I'm going to do a very similar thing, this time with cobble, just to switch it up a little bit. Now, it's time to get into more details. Off to the side by our bridge, I decided to add a little storage shed. I love adding tiny little buildings like this. It's just so relaxing and you get to add lots of details. Then I adjust the terrain a little bit and add a well. The placement of this well honestly doesn't make that much sense being next to the river, but I don't mind, it's more of a decoration. Then I go along the road and add in a few carts. I end up also adding some wheelbarrows and a covered wagon. I think these definitely help to bring the place to life and look like it is actually a working farm. It took me a while to get a covered wagon design that I liked though, but it worked out in the end. Now it's time to focus back on our barn where we need to have a pasture for our horses, of course. This farm is mainly for plants and not for animals, but they do have horses working the ground, so I wanted to have a nice pasture for those horses to relax in when they're not working. And I added a big tree for some shade in the center as well as a water trough. Then we're going to be adding another bridge with the exact same details as the one on the other side. This one, however, is on a slight diagonal, just to add a little bit of interest. Then, of course, our farmer needs a place to live. So, a beautiful big farmhouse. I looked up some farmhouse images on Google to get a good reference image. I absolutely love the idea of an old-fashioned farmhouse with a deck going all the way around it and a beautiful little porch swing in the front. That is just such a dreamy idea for me, so I really wanted to go ahead and build it. I decided to extend the deck in an L shape around the front and to one of the side instead of going all the way around. I like the effect that this gives, and it makes it a little bit unique. Then I go around to each side and add lots of big airy windows and a few details. Once this farmhouse is complete, our build is officially finished. I am so happy with how this came out. I ended up adding a few more details, some hay bales around, some different decorations, some scarecrows, and lots of trees around the areas where we removed them. And that's it. Our farm is done. Thank you so much for watching this simple little transformation. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to link the download for this build in the description in case you want to take it, use it as your survival world, or change it around yourself. Please enjoy it. With all of that said, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this content.